Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your co-host D Rose. We got Flizzy in the building, Spirits back with us. What's good with y'all this week, fellas?
Everything been good this week. By the time this drop, I've already done Birmingham, Alabama. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying? We had a good time in Birmingham. Shut it down. Tore their mouth out. And then we're in Atlanta, GA, Uptown Comedy Theater. For all my folks that's in Atlanta, y'all come pull up on your boy. Not Uptown, but Atlanta Comedy Theater is where we'll be at Sunday night in Atlanta at 8 p.m. And then for my Nashville folks, y'all pull up the last 2 Thursdays of the month. I don't know the dates right off the top of my head, but the next to the last Thursday of the month, I will be in Hermitage at Culture Counter throwing a show. Culture Counter is a little THC spot or edibles or cannabis spot, whatever you want to call it.
That's August 24th. August 24th.
August 24th, pull up. The Thursday after that, the last Thursday of the month.
The 31st.
31st. Appreciate that, Spears. I'll be out there off of Gallatin Road at Rivergate, at Culture County Rivergate, doing another show. So we're gonna have 4 different comedians each week. So it's gonna be, I'm putting on some fire shows. I'm gonna be hosting. Y'all make sure y'all pull up on your boy. Y'all have y'all a good time. Come to both shows if you're in Nashville. If you don't want to come to both shows, pull up at one of them and get yourself an edible, a cookie, or a gummy, or whatever. Because I'm telling you, them gummies is delicious. It's gonna be some of the best sleep you have in your life. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That's solid, man.
It's black on. Culture County is a black on.
Oh, that's dope too. So how did the Bama shows go, man? I mean, you had so much content that you could have just went with. Like that might have been, probably should have been an easy show, because I mean they had
I stick to the script because I feel like I was feeling like by the time we got down there, all the stuff that's been happening already been ran through. You see what I'm saying? So you couldn't just like run into the grounds, you know what I mean? So it's like some of this stuff already been talked about. So I just stick to the script. I just threw like little jabs here and there, but it wasn't nothing I just dug deep into it like I did on the video. I just threw little jabs here and there with it.
Okay, solid. What's good with you, Spirit?
All is well on my end. Everything good. My youngest son went back home this weekend. I had him for the summer, so he went back home Sunday, and then everything is good with that. So just chilling, just grinding, getting some shit lined up. That's about it. Hey, Flake. So you're the only stable mate in this comedy show, and then you get 4 different comedians every time?
Oh, no. It's a group of us. So it's
okay,
a group of 4. It's going to be the same 4 wherever we go. 4 Piece No Biscuit is the name of the tour. And it's going to be the same 4 unless we book a show and somebody got something else to do, then we'll pull up, get somebody else involved. Like the show with Alabama, we had another host, but it was the same four comedians. If we don't pick up a host or a guest spot, you're just going to get us 4.
Okay. How about you, Rose?
Man, everything good on my end, man. Kind of to your point over there, I know you got your chlorophyll, man. I've been just grinding, trying to stay focused on the healthy tip and keeping it clean. No, I spoke about it a little bit in one of our episodes, but I did the fast for 65 days where I was continuously making sure I was intermittent fasting and stayed away from drinks and edibles. Let me say that. But yeah, man. So I ended up dropping 25 pounds. So I'm at 205 now. I was at 230 when I started. I did it for 65 days. So just, everything good, man. I really can't complain. Full transparency. I had started back therapy since my mom. So I had my second session since we got back consistently recording as a group. I would say this to anybody, man, whether you're a black man or black woman, I would definitely say get into therapy if you're dealing with grief, relationships with God, your family, your significant other, whatever. It's definitely good to get around somebody that doesn't know you and can provide you with an unbiased opinion, because they're not emotionally attached to the things that you're talking about. So it's definitely good. This is my third time being in therapy, but especially since after my mama, it hits a little different. But I would definitely say that, especially if you're one of them people that's one of them strong people that tend to be to yourself and kind of keep it bottled in, man, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I would advise to find someone that doesn't know you that can provide you with some good tips in regards to how to manage some of that shit, because, sometimes Superman get a hole in his cape and you ain't what you think you is, but you just pushing through it. So life is good, man. I really, can't complain, wouldn't complain, and, everybody's still here. So I'm going to keep saying that as long as it's a legit thing. So I'm good, man. But Flizzy, we can go on and get into the topic. I know you had some good stuff. I know this is gonna bring some passion out. So I'm ready to see how this conversation go, man. So what's the word, man?
I don't know about passion, but man, I know one thing. But they lied on my boy on that Blind Side movie, though. That's what I do know. Michael Oher, just real quick, we ain't gonna stick to it long, but just real quick, if you don't know, Michael Oher is suing his alleged adopted family after they received $225,000 apiece from the movie The Blind Side. I mean, that's $1 million overall, $225,000 to the parents and both kids, and Michael Oher has not received anything. And plus, they got 2.5 off what the movie made, whether it be at the box office or somebody buy it digitally or for videos. Not digital went out by then. So whatever videos were sold, so they made millions and millions of dollars off of that. Michael Oher claims he hadn't made not $1 off the movie Blind Side, and then they have continuously made money off of his name, likeness, and then the word on the street is they took that money they made off the movie and flipped it into a nice little fast food franchise and continue to make millions after that as well. So I just want to bring that to the table, get y'all guys thought on The Blind Side. Was a good movie. As we know, they do add things to the movie, but they like Michael Oher was like, he wasn't slow. He did fail a couple grades because his mom had 12 kids and she was on drugs. So stuff like that helped him get set back a little bit. But they said he wasn't slow. They didn't introduce him to football. He was already a high recruit. It wasn't them that introduced him to the private school. It was a family friend that introduced him to his dad that worked at that private school. They got him on at the private school. So I just want to get y'all opinion on that. With Michael Oher, they got him to serve their conservatorship when he was a senior in high school. And they told him that it's pretty much like them adopting him. And he didn't know any better. And we are today, 37 years old, and seems like he's just not figuring out that he don't want to get paid for The Blind Side.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say this though. It wasn't a little money that they flipped off of his likeness. North of 200 million off the fast food chain that they were able to create and establish for their family. So I don't know how big flake money is over there, but 200 ain't no little bread. So
I didn't know the exact amount. I just know they flipped it. That's all I know.
Yeah, they got netted 212 million, but
I ain't nowhere close to none of that.
Yeah. Lion said, lie if you want to, but it's all good. However, I mean, it's just one of them situations, man. We don't really know the fine details. The family stated that he had came to them and asked for a 6-figure check. Don't know what sparked the conversation. Maybe he did some digging in regards to finding out, okay, would he even get anything from his adopted family since they're getting up in age, and if they happen to pass away, how would that inheritance come? Who knows what sparked it? It could be somebody in his ear. We really don't know much besides, honestly, hearsay. I think it's an unfortunate situation if it was that he was swindled and did not understand. But I mean, at 18, look back on shit I did at 18. That'd been 14 years ago. I couldn't tell you nothing about signing no paperwork besides a job or something like that. But yeah, it's tough, and this kind of, I hope it don't turn into like a Kaepernick situation to where you had the upbringing and you had the white family that came in and saved you, got to the league, and then now all of a sudden it's just everything go to shit. They changed your life or they didn't change your life, or they put you in a better spot, or they, they either they did or they didn't. So it's just kind of like it gets messy because we all know, unfortunately, with your mama having 12 kids and battling addiction, you probably wouldn't have been in the best spot just being with her, even though she wouldn't sign over her rights, and they happen to do it at 18 and capitalize off your name, image, and likeness. So it's just a ugly situation that I'm pretty sure gonna get messy because all this that we talking about is speculation. We're gonna hear some real facts of what's going on. So that's really all I got. We really don't know, but it's gonna get messy. I can say that much. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Spirit?
I just want to say all of this is alleged, first of all, because the family did state that they didn't earn nothing or much from the movie either and all that other stuff. So that's what the family side is saying. So I just want to put that out there. It's alleged because nobody's guilty until proven guilt. So everybody's innocent, so to speak, unless you're black. But secondly, I do want to say that I just feel like the man should have been asking questions a whole lot earlier than today. And so that's all I really got to say about it. He should have been digging and asking, because at the end of the day, it is his name, his image, and his likeness. It is his notoriety. It is his namesake that catapulted the I don't even know how to pronounce the last name, Tuohy's, tours, whatever, into some of the environments that they probably wouldn't have been able to be in and rub shoulders in. Again, I do know I'm not going to give the restaurant critical acclaim to Michael Oher, because again, the popularity might have came for people to come visit, but to sell 200 million in a restaurant, you got to have some damn good food. Like, it ain't just, oh, I'm coming because of the movie, and then you make 200 million in sales. You might make a couple million in sales from just, oh, I'm coming because of the movie. But if you're making over 200 million in sales from food, it's because you got some damn good food. So I can't just give that all to Michael Oher or whatever the case may be. But I will say I know the wife or his so-called adopted mother did write a best-selling book because of Michael Oher and all that other stuff. So there are certain positions that his name, image, and likeness allowed the family to eat off of. But again, I would have just been like, say, I need to understand, ask these questions. Even at 18 years old, I understand a family taking me in, but I would have asked a teacher or something that I trusted, or somebody to look over something, because I believe even we know back when we was 18, you just don't put your name on anything. You got to read what you put your name on. And I think we knew that at a young age. So I can't give him the pass to say, oh, he just throw his life and everything to them and say, okay, I'm gonna believe and trust y'all, without reading for yourself or even asking a teacher or a coach a question. Be like, hey, can y'all look over this with me so I know what the difference is? Because they telling me that a conservatorship is the same as adoption. And anytime somebody tell you that and they don't want to adopt you fully, that's a red flag right there. Why not just adopt me? Why y'all want to do a conservatorship? And everybody know now in this day and age. Now, again, I'm not saying people knew back then. Conservatorship is solely dealing with money. Basically, it's solely dealing with money. They get the right to do what they want to do with your money, basically, and all this other stuff. And so I'm not going to say, because I think he came out when I came out, 2004 or whatever. In 2004, I think I knew what a conservatorship was. I can't really remember that far, but I believe that I did know. So I would expect him to know, especially because of the environment that he was able to move to because of that family. Being in a private school ain't no, you get certain luxuries, you get certain privileges by being there. So I can't put the whole blame on the family, but I do know that they preyed on him. They did prey on him. And so that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I guess my question would be is if you trust this group and you're signing over and you're pretty much thinking that, okay, hey, you're adopting me, what would he have? What would they have done for him not to trust their word and go with it? Like, I get what you're saying, that you may have known, we don't know, right? But what would make him second guess to be like, okay, they could be getting over on me, or there's a Blind Side movie coming, anything like that. So like, he could have just truthfully just felt love for the first time as a kid, even though 18, you're legally grown. But what would make him not trust these people that have, changed his life? That's how I look at it. Is if, especially with him, it's clear he didn't know. Like, so we can go and leave it out. He didn't know. But what would make him be like, let me second guess this, when they've pretty much changed everything around him?
But to Fleck's point, they really didn't change much of his life. He already got introduced to the private school, not because of that family, but because of a family friend. He was already in the private school. He was already a stellar athlete, and he was getting recruited and everything. So they didn't introduce him to football or give him special, get him with a private coach or anything to give him special training so then he could become who he was. He was already a star in football. The only thing that they did was bring him into their home after seeing how good he was or how special he was as a gifted student, a gifted athlete, and probably because, I'm not going to say there was no sympathy or empathy there from the family, probably because they knew that his living situation wasn't the best. And because I do know, now again, from grown, I do know the children, I guess his siblings, so-called siblings, really did fuck with him. So they really did have a real friendship at one point in time. Now, I don't know if things changed after this fact, but I do know they really had a friendship. And I know the kids are the one who kind of push Michael to the parents, and that's how the parents gravitated to Michael. So again, I'm not going to sit here and say that they changed his life. They gave him a roof over his head, and that is life-changing in a certain sense, but they didn't bring nothing special or do nothing for him that made him get to where he was. The only thing that they did, or the only thing that he did for them, or they helped him, was go to Ole Miss. But he had offers from all the top schools in the nation, but he went to Ole Miss because they went to Ole Miss. So I can't really say they altered his life drastically. Now, I will say this as far as the trust. Bro, we in business in a couple things. You trust me, but when it comes to certain aspects, you asking questions if it whatever. Now, if it's just a menial thing, you trust me and you be like, okay, do whatever you got to do. But if it's about actual moving steps, paper, anything like that, you saying, now we got to have a sit down and talk before I just make a decision on my own. And that's just what it is. Just because you trust somebody doesn't mean that you allow them to make a decision based on your life on their own. And that's what I'm saying.
And I'm following you, but I'm 32. You what? 37? Yeah, that's way different from an 18-year-old. Also, you didn't take me from an environment to where it was pretty much either unfit or unsafe. If we just keeping it out of the way of being. So I'm not that level. Business is business. I don't think he looked at it as business. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I felt that it was off of love. And he's just thinking, okay, they're adopting me. Finally, I'm actually getting to take on this family's name, et cetera, et cetera. Their whole game was, we know what this is going to make this turn out to be. We could take him from this environment where he's living in, have him living with us. He's not going to feel anything different to even realize what our plan was. Everything we talking about, they're our age thinking about, oh man, this is a gold mine. The kids love him. This is perfect for us. So when he hits 18, the mother wouldn't give over the rights. So, okay, now here's our striker point. He agrees with it out of love, not of the business side of it. So that's just kind of how I look at it. Like, yeah, but me and you doing business and them presenting that to him, I don't think he was thinking that was going to be a Blind Side movie, them using his name, image, and likeness and creating all of their livelihood. Honestly, $200 million from the restaurant, even though we say that, okay, they had some decent food, $1 million off the top for just the movie, 2.5% in royalties, and the movie netted over $300 million. I mean, that sounds like business to me.
I'll say this. and we'll keep it pushing. I will push back on Mr. Oher a little bit, and that here we are this whole time now that this is coming up. Like he should have been. I'm with Spears to the point where he should have been asking questions like, all right, we're in the process of making this movie. What am I getting paid? Or after the movie done came out, what am I getting paid? What's going on? Why I ain't getting no money? How you gonna have a story about my life? And the whole reason for this movie is for me, and I ain't getting no money. Now I ain't saying, that movie came out while he was in the NFL. So you've been around, you've seen them sports contracts, you probably seen other contracts from whatever dealership in Baltimore had you doing commercials for them or whatever else you got going on.
He had a lawyer.
You got a lawyer where somebody should be like, bro, it's a nice movie. Where your money? Or the accountant. Or if I don't know if he had an accountant or not. If he did, one of his accountants should be like, all right, cool, so what we gonna do with this Blindside movie since it came out? Where the checks coming in? When they coming in? Like somebody should have been pointing something out. If not him, somebody on his team should have been pointing something out of what's happening with the money from this movie, this huge movie.
And this is still the same family friend lawyer that he got?
Well, I'm just saying somebody should have been.
No, he had a different lawyer from his contract. She ain't the same one who did his contract and helped him in the league. Different lawyer.
His football agent.
Who did the deal for the movie?
The conservatorship is the family friend who did it. The family friend lawyer who did it. The movie, he's saying from what I'm hearing, he didn't have no say. From what I read, he didn't have no say in the movie. So the movie, it's about his life, but from my understanding, and again, it's not the full story ain't out. It don't even go that deep into the movie as actually it just talk about what he trying to do because of the movie or what transpired. But it really don't seem like they had too much interaction with Michael about the movie. They had more interaction with the family. But again, when you in the league, you're a grown-ass man, then you need to be asking these questions now, like, okay, I see this movie hit, all this other stuff. I'm going to red carpet. Okay, if I'm going to red carpet, family going to red carpet, what's up? Like, okay, what's going on? Something should have clicked in your head because the movie's about you.
Yeah, I mean, and then we don't know if this is something that's been going on that's ongoing. It's just not public. So I would say that I want to see how this turn out. I really want to see how this turn out because
everything's a legend. FYI.
Yeah. I want to see how it turn out though because that's a lot of bread that's been floating around off one person's name. So we're gonna see though. But
I mean, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna turn out how it already is. They not returning any calls. They gonna be quiet. They got enough money to defend themselves. So this gonna be in litigation for some years or something, unless a settlement come out or whatever the case may be. They might even have more money than Michael now because of his career didn't go as long. The pay then ain't what it is now. Even though he was left tackle, he got paid handsomely and good, but I don't think he accumulated over $200 million in his whatchamacallit and in his career. And then if they made all the money off the movie and he didn't make nothing, they still getting, royalties and residuals and all that other stuff, and he's not claiming anything. So their money is a little bit longer than his. So again, this is gonna play out how it is. They're gonna be quiet, and that shows a sign of their guilt to me, but they're not gonna come out and say anything and own it, and they just gonna let the money talk and the lawyers speak and handle it that way. But we really ain't gonna find out too much more about this. We ain't gonna hear too much more about it or anything. This story gonna be quiet in a week or two, and we're gonna be on to the next.
Yeah. Only thing they said is that he did ask them for, I think, a $15 million check, like a 6-figure check, and that's when everything started. Once they said no to that, and they considered it like a shakedown. That's the only thing that either them or the lawyer had spoke about, and then now everything's public. So we'll see.
I'll say this: they claim they still love much as they say they do. This story should never made. They should went ahead and cut that check and kept pushing.
Because
it could.
What's 15 million?
Yeah, if Michael couldn't get, he could not get anything. It also could go a whole nother way, where they end up cutting more than that 15 million. So,
and then if you supposedly your adopted son, how's it a shakedown? That's family,
right?
Right. That just lets you know. We're gonna see.
Yes. Moving on, 50 years of hip hop is here. What's y'all thoughts? I think they said the birthday to hip hop was would have been this past Friday, which would have been, what period of my dates? Let me pull it up. The 11th. They say August the 11th.
August 11th, yeah.
August 11th is the birthday of hip hop. They said that was the first hip hop. The reason why they say August 11th because that's the first hip hop party that was thrown. So they use that as the birthday of hip hop. So man, what's y'all? We all different ages, so you know, somebody's GOAT is not the same GOAT. But hey, I guess we'll do the old cheesy way. When the first time you heard hip hop, and you was like, dang, man, I love this music right here. What was the first song, the first album? I don't remember the exact day myself, so I can't tell you. But I can tell you the first song, first album. I can tell you that for sure.
I ain't gonna say it was like I loved it, but I can remember singing it like, and my mama, I think it was 84 Buick that CC had. It was "Wanna Be a Baller." Shock. That's the first song I remember my mama playing, like that we could actually sing and not get in trouble because they were cussing. But that's it. Like "Wanna Be a Baller." Shock. Yeah, that's it for me. Like for
20-inch blades on the Impala.
Yeah. Yeah, we were singing that. I remember me and my sister sitting in the back seat singing that job like it was going out of style, man. But that's it, man. For a song, let me go with that since that's what you asked. Yeah, the song.
Song or album? It could have been either one.
Yeah. Album, I'll be lying. I know the one my mama first bought that had cussing on it was that Nas.
Illmatic.
Yeah. Yep.
I really can't remember or call it. I just know that I'm a fan of music. My daddy played music or whatever the case may be. I'm a fan of music, but I can't call the first song or album that I listened to. But I will say that well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I know. I'm trying to remember. Go ahead, Flake, because I'm trying to remember.
All right. So I started off, I'm about to age myself. I started off with Crisscross Jump. And Mac Daddy make you jump. Daddy Mac will make you. Hey, I was like, oh yeah, I used to like me some Crisscross. But because my pops used to listen to all the R&B, Luther Vandross, all the old school R&B, the Four Tops, all the groups, Temptations, that's all he used to play. That's all he used to listen to. He put that tape in. He didn't even really listen to radio that much. We listened to all that. But when Crisscross came out, I like, oh yeah, I like me some hip hop. Now, the album, the song and album that made me be like, oh yeah, I love me some hip hop, gangster rap, and I had no business having this album. Nothing but a G thing. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Chronic. Now that's when I was like, oh, I can't live without this music. That's when I was like, I can't live without. And I was in the 5th grade, and I went into, those who don't know, back then you have to go into the store on Friday and get it drop. Music drop on Friday. You go to the store, and they had a new release wall where everything that came out on Friday on the new release wall. And you go over there and buy it. I went in the Camelot Music Store. I had $15 from Reagan Leaves and More Yards and bought that album, and they let me buy it. I was by myself, 5th grader, went in, bought this album, put it in my Walkman, and the way it started off, I was like, oh. I've never heard a cussing rap album, and to that day, and I know I listened to that album. That album stayed in my Walkman, I know, for 3 months straight. Every day. I listen to Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre Prime. Every day. 3 months straight.
Hey, so I gotta ask you this though. So the first time you heard cussing on the track, bro, what was your thoughts? Like,
I shouldn't be listening to this because they didn't play it. My mom, they didn't play that. They didn't play none of that. Everything was R&B, that 80s R&B and gospel. That was it. Like, I was like, what am I listening to? Because I used to listen to the Criss Cross, MC Hammer. Of course, they didn't cuss. Them the only albums I had. And then when that came out, I didn't even know rap had cussing in it until that day.
Yeah, because
you know when they played the videos back then, they didn't like beep it out or remix it to make it sound different. It just like went silent, like they didn't say nothing. So I just used to be rapping and didn't say nothing right there and just keep rapping. You know what I'm saying? I had no clue.
Yeah, it tripped me
in 5th grade. So.
Yeah, see, that's how it was. I used to ride home with Travis, man. My cousin Travis, and he loved. If you know T. White, man, he loved Lord Infamous now. So just to hear Project Pat and all them like cut, like bro, I was tripped. I'm like, so where this music come from? Like riding home from them after the football game, he put on that Lord Infamous. Bro, I was amazed. I remember telling my cousin, I'm like, bro, they be cussing like on the songs. Like it was crazy to me because you never they try their best to keep that type of music from us, and it wasn't that explicit. Like you couldn't go anywhere to get it. Like you had to be around somebody that was literally just playing that music, and it wasn't just the genre that everybody picked. Because I grew up around old folks, so they were playing the old school cuts, and you knew all the love making music before you'd ever heard some gangster music, like Leigh, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So probably how you got here, but yeah, I remember being in the car with T. White. He like, don't tell nobody, let you listen to this. Man, we ride home. I'm like, man, just hit another block, just listen to it. It was crazy to me, man. Lord Infamous them, man. Yep.
See, I don't think cussing surprised me that much or whatever in rap music, just because my father cussed, but then also just because my parents was the type of parents, like when they watch movies, I got to watch movies. So they would watch rated R movies and everything. The only thing during sex scenes, of course, I had to cover my eyes or they would put their hands over my face. But so I was exposed to some things. So hearing cuss words didn't really blow my mind in music. But I will say, now that I think about the first, I don't remember the song, but the first artist I think I was accustomed to in rap was Heavy D and MC Hammer. And I used to love Too Legit to Quit and everything because I used to watch Addams Family and all that other stuff. And so I used to rock with MC Hammer and then them Hammer pants when he did the dance and all of that other stuff. So that was probably my first introduction into rap music. But I remember when you could get 10 CDs for 1 cent, and they used to have that. So coming of age into myself, I used to order CDs and get about like 10, 20 CDs and rapping R&B and all this other stuff. So my first time actually bumping something of my own that I bought was Stank On You. And so Outkast. And then that's just when my evolution of rap music evolved, because like you said, growing up from parents and from where we from, parents always bumping that R&B and everything and gospel and stuff. So, but my evolution of rap music and evolvement from that to my own started with Outkast and everything. Then Hot Boys, Wayne, and all that other stuff. Then we got our own kind of music out here in Texas and everything. So DSR, Screwed Up Click, all of that stuff and everything, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, things like that. And then it just evolved on. And then I don't know when I when I came across Pac, but when I came across Pac, he was my type of dude, and so that became my favorite rapper. And then, of course, throughout the years, Wayne became my favorite rapper, and then the evolution of rap music has just been going on. Some for the better, some for the worse, but it's 50 years in the making, so it's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, after that, Dr. Dre, and my parents cuss too, but I just didn't never hear their music until that point.
Yeah,
but after
yeah,
Dr. Dre, oh yeah, I'm like D Rose. After that, it was 3-6 all day. Round the corner, your other cousin, the 12, round the corner, introduced me to 3-6 with the white tapes, with the sticker, with the typed up sticker on it. And they were like, man, who is this? They made me a tape right there on spot. Now that's all I listened to for the longest was 3-6, DJ Paul, Juicy J, DJ Squeaky, Skinny Pimp, Player Fly, Spanish Fly, Lil Chat, Gangsta Boot, like all of them. That's all I would listen to for a long time, bro. Big Pat, Criminal Main, like all of them back in Memphis, man. But
I hear you say 8-Ball MJG.
Yeah, 8-Ball MJG. My brother had that. He had that 8-Ball MJG. I used to steal his Coming Out Hard tape. He had Coming Out Hard. I used to steal that junk and go to school with it and come back.
The crazy part about it is kids nowadays won't even know like how y'all had to like to put a cassette tape onto a CD, how that junk used to work. Never know nothing about burning CDs. Like Flay come home for the summer, he was gapped for about 2-3 junk. Hey, nephew, you seen my CD? I ain't even seen that junk, man. We bumping that junk right through the hood, bro. You got gapped for that. Him and D, man, me and Lil Junior used to hit them for every 5 CD they had, bro, because they was in the city, so people was on burning CD way earlier in Nashville. So they come down, yeah, y'all getting hit for a couple of them junk. Don't even let that get out my eyes, get out your eyesight. It's over with. Like we were getting that junk. Then Lil Junior learned how to do it, and it's just crazy. Just like you said, like the evolution of it is everything kind of digital now. Yeah. Music don't hit the same. I remember Critic said one time is either radio don't play the songs that I'm into, or maybe I'm just growing up because I can't listen to it, bro. It don't do for me. It's only a few cats that can really just catch my ear now, but I'm one of them old heads now that I feel like I listen to more underground music and couldn't even really tell you like the popping rapper, like they might play them in the hookah lounge or the club or something, but I'm not playing their CD through and through. It's only like a few. It didn't change so much. It's damn near you look back on 50 years of hip hop and like how we get here. If you be real in certain instances, like used to have a message. Now it's kind of going with what we say we was programmed.
I'll say this. I am glad that hip hop is no longer a young man sport. So the rappers that I've grown up with still making music. Some of them are still out here making music, and I do tend to, Nas done dropped with 3 albums in the last couple of years. We ain't heard nothing from Jay-Z, but he possibly, you never know with him. He could drop something at any moment. It's good to see Memphis finally getting a lot of credit. And I ain't talking about the young cats. I'm talking about Yo Gotti, DJ Paul, Juicy J. They still as active as possible. No disrespect to the young cats, because they slapping too, but I'm talking about the ones I grew up on was getting no credit. 8-Ball MJG, Paul, Juicy J, Yo Gotti, and then they still be active today. I hear their music being sampled so much from Project Pat. Their music being sampled from West Coast rappers, New York rappers, like it's everywhere now. So it's good to see that. It's good to see that it is getting older though.
Most influential rapper in the 50 years of hip hop.
To me, or who influenced hip hop?
To you. I mean, everybody not gonna have the same answer. So to you.
Okay. Y'all go. I'm gonna think about that one.
I ain't gonna take long at all, man. It's gonna show my age, but man, I gotta say Jeezy, bro. I'm just gonna tell you from my generation, Jeezy, man, like he Wayne had the lyrical side, but when it comes to just the influence on the streets and just how people move, Jesus changed everything around. That's like AI to basketball, bro. Like the Can't Ban the Snowman era, the Real Dope Boys, and the anthems. That to me, that Wayne probably had more of the lyrical rap side, but when it comes to just who changed the streets and you could just remember when everybody kind of started moving a certain way, it was Jesus, bro. Like Jesus just that was where I'm from, country boy love that, it was Jesus for me. Like when I think back on any rapper that ever just caught my eye, like I got a Wayne lyrical, but Jesus when it comes just influential, like it just changed everything around us, bro. Like Jesus for me. I see Spirit laughing, but
Right. Now see, no, I understand your answer once you broke it down and went into detail.
Yeah, because you didn't say best rapper. You said influential.
No. Yeah, influential. But when I meant influential, I meant over the whole culture, not necessarily over your geographic demographic or anything like that. So I mean over like the whole culture as a whole. So not just your city, your state, I'm just talking about over the whole culture, like so over the whole Black hip hop culture. That's what I meant. So, but when you broke it down, I understand why you said.
I was gonna say, I could only speak on what I seen and what was around me and what created a real movement. Because people will say, Jay, I didn't feel that at all where I was from. Like, and anybody that say it, I'm like, okay, all right. That just.
Yeah, I mean, it just been over. Yeah, I ain't listening to Jay. Everybody to my Jay-Z album, a classic. I ain't listened to Jay-Z first album. He had already dropped 3 or 4 albums. Then I went back and listened to it, but during that time, I was like, nah, I'm good on him. For mine, I'm gonna go with, I got 2. And I'm gonna go with Master P. Master P because his influence was on the record deals that some of these artists started to get. Like Master P was one of the first ones that's getting the deals like that, where the artist was making majority of the money, when a lot of people was getting them sucker deals. And a lot of people still do get sucker deals, but that Master P deal was like, broke them over like, dang, rappers ain't getting deals like that, you know what I mean? So they was able to follow up with that one with Cash Money and Universal, was able to get a deal like that as well. I'm gonna say one more, only because you brought up Jesus. My other one is, no, you know what? I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna go and say DJ Paul, Juicy J, because they had that whole crunk era going on. Even though Atlanta get the credit for it, I just gotta say this. Memphis started the whole crunk era. That whole little John stick with all that came from Memphis. I just gotta put that out.
Now, but Memphis wasn't really a crunk thing. It was a juking thing. So there's a difference. But
that whole tear the club up, I bet you won't hear the
but that's more juking music than crunk music.
Yeah, but the terminology is, Lil Jon took that, and all you do is change the words in it, and it's the same thing.
Nah, because
I think it just
vibe to it.
I think it's just how people vibe.
And Memphis was saying, we were saying crunk way before folks in Atlanta was saying that.
But here go the thing though, is Memphis was just Memphis. I mean, if you're from around the way, you just know what that is, and that came with you were just naturally crunk. You were just naturally bucking the club. I don't think, to me, in growing up close to Memphis, I don't really know nothing about Atlanta. So when they got their little wave and how they did it, it was like, oh, okay, cool. But we know where that came from. I just think that they had a different little feel to it because it's either gonna be a fight or you're gonna be see somebody juking in the club where we from. It wasn't gonna be I don't know what Atlanta did to it. They just made it hype. And so it wasn't no real fear. You knew what was gonna happen in Memphis. Fighting or dancing. It wasn't, you didn't know what Atlanta was gonna do with it. But it sounded the same. Like Bone Crusher them sound like anything 3-6 made back in the day. Like, that's just what it was. So yeah. And you wouldn't have known juking experience until you came to Tennessee, unless you met some cats that was from.
I juke it before I came to Tennessee.
Yeah, because they made a run.
Were they from Tennessee?
Hold up, I'm gonna answer you, Rose. What'd you say, Flake?
I said because 3 6 and all them, they made a run through Texas. Like they made a run through Alabama, Texas, and all that. They did all types of shows down there.
Because where we from, and then also like I said, Screwed Up Click, Ghetto Boys, all this other stuff. A lot of stuff was introduced to us musically because we would chop and screw anything. But then we also had the Screwed Up Click, so we had Paul Walker, Millionaire, Slim Thug, all of them, the whole crew, Fat Pat, all of them and everything. So we had Big Mo, all of them, all of that. And so we would use a lot of y'all music and all this other stuff or beats, and then they would freestyle to it and everything. Because, Texas, I'm going to say just, and I could be biased, it's Freestyle King's area because we freestyle to anything down here and everything. All music, everything. You got different people from doing anything could just freestyle. Every artist can't freestyle and flow, but in Texas, that's just what we did because of the third coast, just how we operate, because it was different, and we didn't get a lot of respect nationwide until later on now in today's age and all this other stuff. So so y'all music made y'all running everything, and then by y'all music making y'all running by what we did to y'all music, that's how we integrated y'all airways and atmosphere and everything, and then that's how y'all started learning about screw music and all of this other stuff. So I knew about juking before I got to Tennessee. The thing though is I didn't know that everybody juked. Basically, that's from Memphis. Like you have your pretty boys, your thugs, your gangsters, all of them juke. I didn't know that until I got to Tennessee. I just thought it was a certain sect of people who juked or whatever. And it's like, okay, these dancing ass niggas. No, everybody was some dancing ass niggas in Memphis. And so I didn't know that part until what you call it. But yeah, so that's what it is. For me, the most influential rapper of the 50 years in hip hop would be Pac. It just Pac from everything he stood for, because he was so complex and dynamic, and he could be very spiritual. He could be very what word do I want to use? I'm gonna say militant. I was gonna say rebellious, but I'm gonna say militant. He could be very profound and provocative with his thought, like Brenda Had a Baby, Dear Mama, all that other stuff. And then he could just be a turning up crazy ass nigga, How do you want it? How does it feel? All this other stuff. California, so it's just I would say Pac, and from everything that he stood for and everything and how he was and his impact and influence, you could still hear his lyrics that are still present today, but was present throughout all them years, from when he first said it to every year after. And not many rappers music progresses that way to where it still has a impact on today's time throughout every generation or every year. And so that's why I would say Pac. Now, as far as just like my personal, Pac is one of my personal faves, but like who I would say who just changed the whole hip hop game and who has the most influence in hip hop would be Wayne, just because everybody mocked, has done, what Wayne introduced into the game. So that's what I would say.
I can like that, and I think you made a hell of a point with just timeless music that just could last and has longevity. I think that's the biggest issue with me now. Is like you can play the East Coast music for maybe 6 months to a year, and then hey, it's over with. And I can't say that's just being somebody that loves music. I can't just say that that's because of just our attention span. I think it's just the quality of music. It just don't really stand the test of times. And when you got that real gift of gab, it's gonna be decades and decades of knowing, okay, this that same struggle. You don't really get that now. It's just kind of for now music, and it'll get you through whatever you're going through if that's how you vibing and vibrating. But
It's a few.
Yeah.
It's a few out right now. You got
Yeah. I mean, it's very few. Yeah, that's.
You got Crit.
Very few.
You got I can't even remember the name.
Cole, Kendrick, Crit. Like you said, you got Wale. You got a couple of.
Wale.
Yeah, you got a couple rappers.
Ross.
Yeah, Ross. Yeah.
You said Ross.
So to speak, you know. But even to Rose's standpoint, because they matured and they gravitated to the life.
Right.
Jeezy put out timeless music now and adult mature music and everything. You know, Tip. You know, and different things like that. So some people elevate with their maturity level and with the times, and some people don't and stay still because another thing. And I'm not gonna say because Boosie has even elevated, but to go to Rose's point about, you know, some music just isn't timeless. When Boosie was making, you know, that Molly X music, Molly and X ain't even really that big no more. So those certain songs aren't timeless. They was good for that time, but they don't transition throughout time because now people on Xans, bars, and all that other stuff, and Percocets and everything. So that music isn't gonna transcend time when, you know, other music will. Now Boosie has matured and elevated, and he ain't talking about some of the stuff he was back then, and now his music may progress to be timeless that he's making now, but certain songs that certain people make just ain't timeless because of it was only meant for that time period.
Yeah, because I was sitting there, I was in a party on the Xbox the other day talking with some kids and like just not joking about the recession because it's a real thing, but I was thinking to myself that Jeezy, man, ain't no work, ain't no job. It's getting serious out here, and it's like that recession.
I know gas is gonna be a bill.
Exactly. You feel me? So it's like, man, that's music to just stand the test of time, bro. Time repeat itself, but yeah, you can't go wrong with Pop, man. Can't go wrong with Pop.
Okay, now in the comments talking about who we didn't name either. We just named him from personal experience. And y'all know me on my head talking about, man, Master P trash. Now I picked Master P off of business on the business side of contracts. But he started getting after that. Jay-Z, Rockefeller was getting them big contracts, Cash Money. It was a whole lot of groups getting them big contracts after Master P did what he did.
Yeah, but you ask me, P don't get enough credit.
P had some bangers early on in his career.
Now there's gonna be somebody that think he trash, but they was in there every Friday because you know P was dropping No Limit was dropping the album every Friday. Somebody in No Limit was dropping the album every Friday.
I don't think he get enough credit, to be real with you.
No, he don't.
No, he don't.
He had some bangers, some bangers.
Because to be real, how these people with streaming now, they just be dropping music like Don Tripp. He underground legend right there, Don Tripp. He done dropped the album just about every month.
No, I know just about every month.
Yeah, every month Don Tripp will drop out. But people who've been doing that, Master P was the first one doing it. Master P was the first one, like, we finna flood the streets with our music. We finna be in people's mouth on the charts every Friday. We dropping something.
Yeah, and I guess, and I'll leave it at this, but it's crazy to see how, people hustle with the music, and what it just don't, the music don't be adding up. Cause I'm like, if you trapping like that, there is no way you only dropping an album once every 8 months or once every year, bro. Like, you could have just came from really just out here like that. You got to be lying, because the trap open. It should be music just flooding the street. Like, we should be tired of hearing you at this point, like in a consistent way and being good. Like Tripp, every single album that he's dropped this year, every single one of them tight, bro. You can run them front to back, ain't got to skip a song, bro. Like, I've never seen it. Y'all have, but I ain't never seen nobody dropping like that. Not no whole year, and it ain't a bad song. You might not be in the mood for it, but ain't no bad song. Bro. Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, and I know we've done this before, but let's see if they change. Top 5, dead or alive.
Man, I ain't playing this game.
No, come on, top 5, dead or alive.
Well, they let Flake have it last time he did this too.
I don't care. They're my top 5. These mine. My top 5. I'm going Wayne. I'm going Biggie. I'm going Tip. I'm going Jeezy. And this is where it gets tough. Let's see. I said Wayne, Biggie, Tip, Jeezy. There's gonna be one more. I'm going Calvin Brothers. And this could change next week. Calvin Brothers, Snoop Doggy Dogg. Only because that man, everybody knows Snoop is. Your grandmama knows Snoop is. Your granddaddy. This man, Snoop, has went from gangster rapper, we want to put you in jail, break your CDs, to doing cooking shows, Corona commercials. He doing kids videos on YouTube. Whatever. Cereal. Like, he really done built the roadmap for like getting to the money and turning your rap music into something that you can live on for the rest of your life, and he ain't never have to change about who he is. Ain't no, he still hollering Crip, he still smoking weed, he still got his dreads, he still dressed a certain way. He ain't changed up nothing. He ain't have to change up not a thing. There go my 5. The argue with your man, but don't argue with me.
I give you the Snoop breakdown because that is real community resolution in progress. Because I mean, depending on how you position that in today's society, that could be you blackballing yourself. Just to be for real, that image is kind of.
You're not even that though. So
I'm giving a man. So I'm not nothing but the Carlos Rose. That's what my mama named me. I don't know nothing that you talk about. That's not me. That's not my fashion. However, I have to say that is really influential because he has stuff with kids and deals and stuff like that. So for them to respect it on that level, that's truthfully what that is. But my 5 would be Wayne, Crit, Lito, Trip, and Jeezy.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, y'all.
Not a bad list.
Y'all stay close to y'all demographic. My top.
I went to the north and I went to the west.
Biggie, I don't know how you got that out of Biggie, but go ahead, Spirit.
Big? Oh, come on, bro. Man, Biggie, dog. Man.
Go ahead, Spirit.
He about to go in. He about to go in.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna let him make it because he said argue with your man. So I'm gonna let him. You got it, right? You got it, big dog.
My top 5 is Wayne, Pac Wayne, Kendrick, I'm gonna put them both in there because he ain't had a single album, but Andre, but Outkast. How many is that? That's 4. And my fifth. Dang, the fifth one tough. But I'm gonna have to go with dang, who I want to put in there. My fifth just cause what he done and how he spit and I feel him on the shit he be on. Cause sometimes he a hoe, sometimes he in love, sometimes sometimes he just a real ass nigga. Drake. Yeah.
Yeah. You right by saying all that before you said his name.
No,
you right.
No. Sometimes he be on his
That's a sensitive ass rapper.
Sometimes he be in love. Sometimes he be the coolest nigga in the building. So
sometimes he be a whole ass nigga, man.
Hey, so check this out. So anybody that just listen to us on audio, there is no question of who the light skinned dude is when y'all listen to this at the end. Ain't no question.
Nah, Drake be spitting though.
I mean,
he do be spitting.
Yeah,
but he also made some songs about hating too. Fuck that nigga. Yeah, like that. That man had dirty macking on the song.
hey, but then also, man, as we wrap that up, man, happy C-Day to Nip, man. Today is his birthday, so we can't mention hip hop without bringing in Nip. I know he had a late run. But he still has some very impactful music for the West. That is somebody that you listen to his music early in the day, he was just heavy on the game banging. But as he grew into who he was as a man, he did leave some timeless music. You can still go back and play that marathon. And
Okay.
I'm talking about just riding, just cruising, nice little sunny day, sun out, chilling. So happy to see that in Nip for sure on that.
Summer Nights,
DJ
Nick
Nip.
Cutlass.
Yeah, he has some good music, man.
Yeah. Well, shit. Y'all got anything else?
Hey, if you don't have the Black Business Minute, I got one of them, and I got Supreme Black Person.
I did have a Black Business Minute, but for the Black Business Minute, because you said something, we're gonna transition to your THC Black-owned business out there, and you said
Culture Counter. Culture Counter, huh?
What'd you say it was?
The name of the company is Culture Counter.
Where? City?
Oh, it's in Hermitage.
Oh,
have a location in Hermitage,
and
then we had a location. Not we, but he has a location in Rivergate as well. And look, I done hosted so many. I did so many comedy shows. They be like, yeah, he part owner too. I be like, no, I'm not. I'm just a comedian.
But yeah, so if you're in the Nashville, Antioch, all them neighboring cities and stuff, area, go visit who again? What's the name?
Culture Counter. It's CULTURECANNA. Culture Counter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go visit
pull
them.
Up on them
for your edibles, for your they also do the tree.
Yeah, they got that too. They got pre-rolls.
Okay.
They got mocktails. They got creams for pain.
I didn't know y'all legalized it.
Well, it's a
medicinal.
Yeah, I mean, I put like this: the way Tennessee is, it can only have so much.
Fucking up the man business.
No, I'm not. It can have so much THC in it and be legal.
Oh, okay.
So some of the products do have THC. Other products have what you call it?
CHB,
CBD.
CBD.
So
it's mainly CBD.
Like I say, we don't never edit. We might have to edit that out. But now you cleared it up.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the legal amount.
It's mainly CBD.
Okay.
Some things do have THC in it because in Tennessee, you can have a certain percentage of THC in it and still be legal. So they do have pre-rolls, CBD pre-rolls. They have mocktails. They have gummies, cookies. They have creams to relieve pain and all that good stuff.
Okay.
All legal.
All legal.
Tennessee doing that. I need to go visit again.
Yeah, all legal. We ain't too far away from legalizing it full blast. They ain't too far away from it.
Be out there with a headache experience and sleeping.
Nah, I'm not for using.
No, I'm saying because if depending on what you're used to, transition to CBD ain't gonna do to make you sleepy. Just ain't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I already know. It is very relieving of pain though.
Oh yeah.
If you get the right dosage, because sometimes you get some stuff or from some places that the quality ain't that good and it don't do nothing. But if you get the right dosage with the right quality and you in pain, gone.
Best out to them.
They do have quality product. I have tried it a few times myself, so they do have some quality product. All right. For our Supreme Black Person of the Week, we have Devon Kimbrough. He is the 13-year-old soccer sensation, and he's the youngest pro athlete in the United States history. He just signed a contract with the Sacramento Republic FC of the USL Championship League. So 13-year-old black kid, soccer prodigy, has just signed a professional contract with Sacramento Republic FC as Devon Kimbrough.
Salute to you, young king.
Shout out to that brother.
Salute to that young man getting that paper.
And I'm glad to see that people starting to see that shift, that pick up them soccer balls and baseball club,
right?
Whatever. It ain't just basketball and football.
I do want to do this though. Salute to the Queen, Simone Biles. She took a 2-year hiatus and came back and still killing it. Still the best in the game. And the reason why I want to shout out to her though is because part of the reason why she took the hiatus was for a mental break. She was doing things that nobody else could do, doing things that they even outlawed in the Olympic Games and in gymnastics because nobody else can do them trips and them tricks or flips, and they're too difficult. So they outlawed it, and like if she does it, she gets more points taken away because it's a unfair advantage, they say. And so that caused her the twisties, as you call it, because she's doing things that nobody else can do, and that are so dynamic and profound that by doing all those turns and flips in the air, she didn't know psychologically where her body was and how to make sure that she would land right. So she needed to take some time to get her mental right. But when she came back, she got married. She took some time to get married too while she was on her hiatus, got married, came back in the game, and still won the gold, and is still the best in the game, and still outscoring people by crazy amount of points. So salute to the Queen, Simone Biles. She is the true GOAT in gymnastics, and hopefully she keep doing what she's doing and get these gold medals in the Olympics and in the World Championship. So rooting for you, cheering for you, and salute to you, Queen.
Yeah, salute to that. That's dope.
Salute. With that being said, my queens out there, put your crown on, took their things to the side. Let them know you are a queen. For all our kings out there, put your crown on, took their things to the side. Let them know you are a king. You are supremely black. Yeah.